in this state specifically, we're very geared toward education. We're hyper education people. So we put a lot of emphasis on certifications and courses. And what I want to do is take it one step further. And this is the intent of this program, is to work with employers on the front end of this education and become a placement agency for those employers so that they can invest in these women going through this program.
And this is the Utah Business Spotlight. I'm Peter Anthony. I'm your host. Today I am here with somebody who's amazing at what she does, getting people everything that they need, want, and desire. But on top of that, she's becoming a great friend. This is the Utah Business Spotlight. I am Peter Anthony. I'm your host. I need you to do two things. I'm lying. I need you to do three. I need you to like. I need you to subscribe. But more importantly, I need you to share this with your friends, man. This is important. And taking care of Utah businesses, one of the best things we can do as a community. I am here today with my friend Carrie Hill. She is crushing it in PR, but she's got a secondary hustle that is awesome. She's going to tell us all about it today. But first, Carrie, welcome and tell us, where can people find your PR company?
Yeah, thanks so much for having me, Peter. It's so fun to be here with you. And people can find me at chillconsultingagency.com. That's the PR services.
Chillconsultingagency.com. I love it. Very cool. Like, what a cool name. Like, hi, I'm Carrie Hill, and I'm the owner of Chill Consulting. It's killer.
I love it.
That. Yeah.
I was trying to pick a name and I thought, what? It's Carrie Hill. I kept seeing my name and thought finally, oh, it's Chill. Of course, that makes sense. So that's what it ended up being.
That's great. And I know you guys are rocking it out for some of Utah's finest businesses. You've created spotlights for those businesses and what you do. Really important. I think PR is one of the underrated components of marketing because people in general, they avoid marketing, right? They think they are the market, right? And then they think that, oh, I believe in manifestation. So if I build it, they will come. I call that the field of dreams business, right? But PR is so important, especially today. It creates authority. It highlights expertise. And then it creates connection within the community. And what you're doing is just incredible. Let me ask you a quick question. Do I have permission?
Of course. Awesome. Yes, ask all the questions.
So tell us one of your most epic PR stories. Like, where did people come to you and they say, oh, of course, I want to be on Oprah. What are some of the cool things that you've gotten people here in Utah? Because Utah is a hard place to break into the PR market.
Yeah, it is a tough place. I think everyone's pretty interconnected and knows somebody that knows someone that can get them something, right? And so selling that service, it can be really challenging. I've been really fortunate, Peter, over the years to be able to work with both corporate entities and then also personal brands, small businesses, and founders. And so my service experience has really run the gamut. I'll tell you two stories. One of my favorite accomplishments was actually when I was working with Kneaders Bakery and Cafe.
Oh, I love Kneaders.
Here in Utah.
The French toast.
So good.
Killer.
Yes. And they have a campaign, if you will, a charitable campaign every October called Hope Fights Childhood Cancer.
Hope Fights Childhood Cancer.
And they had a family member as a child who experienced cancer, and they started this campaign. They worked with a doctor at the U of U who discovered that there are 42 cancer-fighting proteins in elephants. And so they connected with him and decided to go full on in his research to help fight childhood cancer. As a sideline, humans only have 2 of these specific cancer-fighting entities in their bodies. And so to know that elephants had 42, and this is why they live so long without cancer, how do they do that, right? So synthesizing that process, working with Kneaders, I really had an opportunity to blow that relationship up. And I brought a lot of influencers, about 52 influencers, to Huntsman Cancer Institute, which is very challenging to work with. There's a lot of red tape there
Sure.
And being able to work with their team and build a relationship with their team to not only focus on the cancer research, but to actually bring these influencers into the research lab and be able to see firsthand what's happening and be able to go then out and talk about it on their social media profiles. So we did that in 8 media markets, and it was wildly successful. And that was one of the most satisfying things that I've done.
Wow. And that's such a great story. And Neaters is a great company, needless to say, but it's such a great story when you can take a company's desire to be seen and turn it into something that is powerful within the community and helps the community simultaneously.
Yeah. It's so satisfying.
So cool, man. Very cool.
Yeah.
I'm super proud of you.
Thank you. I'm proud of me too. But I want to say also on the other side of that, I mentor at iHub, Innovation Hub of Utah, which is a nonprofit, 501c3 nonprofit in Provo. And there's 200 plus new founders starting new businesses in this state. And that is one of the most satisfying things, to go and work with these founders on building their narrative, building their brand. How are they going to leverage that when they market? How do they make that a part of their keynote speeches and their interviews? And, so I've got both sides of the spectrum, and it's fulfilling all the way across.
Oh, that's so cool, man. Well, we're really grateful for you. But now you're doing something with women who transition from marriage to the marketplace, right? Tell me about that. That's been very, very cool. And it's super close to my heart because I think it's really important.
Yeah, thank you. Well, first of all, thanks for your support, Peter, in that space. You've been a great advocate for me, and I really appreciate that. This program is called Empowered. It's in collaboration with Utah Valley University. And this came actually out of my own personal experience, as I think most passion projects do.
Sure. So you saw a need.
So I saw a need.
And you experienced that need
firsthand.
And
I experienced it firsthand and thought,
that.
I'm going to make an impact somehow. We're going to solve this problem. So before my divorce, Peter, I experienced some time on welfare, and I realized how broken this welfare system is. And I was a full-time mom, part-time freelance contractor at the time. And I had to find a way to go back to work full-time in the corporate space so that I could have some insurance for my kids, so I could take care of my family.
Yeah, you're a mama bear, man.
Yeah.
You got to take care of those
cubs.
You
don't mess around with that, right? And so I was fiercely out trying to land that position that would be sustainable. And what I realized is that there's no bridge for women that find themselves in this situation and that have been at home for a long time. They're needing to go back to work.
So when you say that, you mean there's no bridge, there's no ideal scenario where they can migrate from the domestic into the market.
That's right.
And that's brutal.
Yeah.
If you're enduring or going through or trying to migrate through this divorce, because when you have young kids, it puts a whole new element of pressure on the individual, and then that individual has to go survive with those children in tow. Right. It's very, very
challenging.
Difficult.
It's very challenging.
But what you shared with me privately before we got on is there's an incredible set and subset of skills that women possess from this domestic management that can be transferred into being really of very high value. I want to make sure that people understand you're so valuable because of who you are and the intensity and the passion and the organization that you put into your life can easily be transferred into the marketplace. And I think you have some really cool ways to do that. Share those with us.
Thank you. Yeah. So when I say that there's no bridge, I mean there's no skill development, there's no process in coming off of welfare to be sustainable.
There's not.
So it's either you're poor or you're a little less poor, right? So those are really the only two options.
You're poor and less poor,
right?
both of which suck.
They both suck.
Yeah, having been on that welfare system when we were growing up. It's brutal on the kids. I think it's actually more brutal on the parent because you suffer from the guilt. The kids don't have any guilt. We didn't know any different.
Yeah.
So there was no, like we just knew like other people had cooler stuff than we did. Other people seemed to have more food than we did. And, so. And
less stress at home. Sometimes.
I would imagine that they did, but I didn't know that.
Right. Well, yeah, this was my experience. And so when I came out of that and I did secure full-time work, and Neaters was actually the first company that hired me out of that system, and I will forever be grateful to them. And we did great work together. But what I thought was, if I had had somebody to guide me and let me know what the skills and the tools were that I needed, I would have fiercely gone after securing them.
Sure.
Because I needed them, right? So let me create that program with now Utah Valley University. And so that's what we've created. We've created an 8-week program, which teaches women, single moms, women especially that have been divorced that need to sustain their family, and a program of Google Suite, Excel Suite, Canva, AI, accounting.
So you've created a digital foundation program that's 8 weeks long that women who are transitioning from divorce to single parent can jump into in that 8 week that will prepare them with specific skills that are marketable immediately in the workplace that increase their workplace value exponentially.
That's right.
And we're talking double or triple your value.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yes. And the what I love about this so much, Peter, and we've talked about this too off camera, but education is only as good as the employment that you secure on the other side. Right.
So important. I want to unpack that because I want people to understand what you just said. I don't want you to pass this by.
Thank you.
Education is only as important as?
It's only as good as the employment that you receive on the other side.
So education is only as good as the employment you receive. What do you mean by that?
Yeah, I mean, I think that we are, in this state specifically, we're very geared toward education. We're hyper-education people. So we put a lot of emphasis on certifications and courses. And what I want to do is take it one step further. And this is the intent of this program, is to work with employers on the front end of this education and become a placement agency for those employers so that they can invest in these women going through this program.
So to put it into some sort of simple syntax, when I, the mother, am transitioning into the marketplace, you want the new bridge to be, we're going to educate you to an employment destiny that's predetermined.
That's right. That's right.
And that's cool.
Yeah, it is cool. I'm excited about it.
Cool. Because it creates an immediate compelling future, which makes those 8 weeks so much more important and prolific because you know exactly where, when, and how you're going to apply these new skills.
That's exactly right.
Holy cow, it's powerful, man.
And you're not left on the other side of that education to figure out on your own, now what do I do with this?
How
do I do this?
Yeah, so I've got the suite of things, but that marketing wasn't one of them. Yes, now I got to go hustle up and market myself.
That's right.
Which could be actually, in some cases, that can be anti-conducive in the journey because it's kind of beating up your esteem.
Absolutely.
And you don't know really like, why am I hired? Why is this, it opens itself to too much discussion.
Absolutely.
I like being predetermined much better.
Yes. Well, and then both parties have skin in the game.
Yeah.
Right. And you're not having to spend X amount of dollars more on recruiting somebody that maybe is not going to turn out to be a great employee for you.
So when the employers come to recruit, I think they can do it in two ways, right? They can sponsor the 8-week journey, or they can just say, hey, we are hiring.
That's right.
Right? How much is a sponsorship?
Yeah. So a sponsorship is $2,000, and that includes the tuition for the program.
That's it?
That's it.
$2,000?
It's $2,000 for this next year, because this is the launch of the program. We're looking to work with employers. We're looking to get the research that we need to sustain it.
So if you're an employer, you, and that's a complete tax deduction.
Yes.
You put up the $2,000 that takes a person through this 8-week program, and the 8-week program is held at the
UVU.
university.
Yeah, it's a hybrid course. So it's on campus and then it's also at home.
Excellent.
Yeah. So what I love about this is that employers get to see, oh, my employee, she can work from home or she can show up on site. Right. So it builds some trust that there's some skin in the game for both parties to make that relationship work. So once they go through that program, we guarantee the employer, we're going to do your onboarding, your company onboarding halfway through this program, so that when this employee graduates, she's fully onboarded. We're not wasting time in the workplace. She's ready to go.
Oh, cool. So 4 weeks into the program, you're already onboarding the employee.
That's right.
So it is a seamless transition. It's from like training to accomplishment.
That's right.
Wow. Very smart.
Yes,
You're very tricky.
Thank you.
I love that.
Well,
That's
you know,
very
you
cool.
gotta play with the big boys, right? So I'm up here playing.
That's very cool. So so your PR company has brought this to the forefront. And now, because you have that ability, you've created this company that helps women transition into gainful, profitable employment. You know, and there's a difference, because going after a job, going after an entry level receptionist job at a fast food restaurant is not going to sustain, or it's noble, but it can't sustain a single mother.
Right.
It's very noble. I'm not saying don't do it. I'm just saying it's better if you can bring a higher level of value to a company that actually needs it.
That's right.
It's very difficult to fill these positions. We have a company looking to fill a specific position where I need somebody. Would I be a candidate for this? If I need somebody about 20 to 25 hours a week to help us on site and off site, is that the kind of things that?
Yeah, it's a great question. I think
or is it only full time?
Every woman's journey is going to be different. The need is going to be different. My mission and my heart is to stop divorce-driven poverty for this demographic of women. But the net that we're casting is broad, and it's to help all women who are in this situation and need help. So maybe 20 to 25 hours is supplement enough for you to be able to take that job. Maybe another candidate needs full-time employment because there is no other support or help coming in. And so we will have candidates for every type of job.
That's so incredible.
And every type of candidate, which is great.
Yeah. And that's truly one of the things that the marketplace needs right now, is because you always want, with everything that's going on with AI, people are nervous, but you still need those people that are willing to engage live, right? And really willing to represent your company, your cause, your mission, and that are, putting palm to palm and helping people inside the community. I love what you're doing.
Thanks so much, Peter. And I'll just say, for service-based companies, you think clinics, healthcare clinics, like this is not an AI. We can't replace the receptionist at a healthcare clinic with the nuances of that clinic through AI. There has to be somebody there to be front-facing and engaging with clients and doing some of this admin work that can be made easier by AI. But to your point, the people power is still really significant right now.
Oh, yeah. And people love people.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't want anybody to ever feel like they don't have a high level of value in the marketplace, because you do. And you can tone up any skill set and you can acquire new skill sets. So I think what you're doing is really brilliant. It's really brilliant.
Thanks so much.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm excited about it.
Cool. I'm excited too. I'm proud of you.
Thanks.
So if you were to say in PR, what's the one thing that you're sharing with the world, or you wish your clients knew, which would help them make a decision to hire PR faster? Like, what's that one thing that if they only knew this, that they would all come running, because it's so prolific in outcome? What is your one thing?
Well, the immediate thought that comes to mind is that it doesn't have to be perfect. Your company doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be in crisis. It doesn't have to be anything but existing in order to start that narrative of what that looks like in PR. And so for me, the prolific thought is, as soon as you have an idea, you go to a bank, you get an LLC, You're in business. You've got a business. So how to tell the story of that business from the onset of that transaction that makes you a legal business entity, do it now. Start it now. Really think about, why did I get in? Why am I creating this business? Who are the people I want to serve? And what is it that I want to get out of it on the other side?
Cool.
And create that into a narrative that then you can guide yourself by every step of the way.
I love it.
Yeah.
And what could be the results for my company if I were to pick up a PR?
Yeah, that's
firm?
great. Well, I mean, it's really the gamut of media. There's paid media, there's earned media, there's TV spots, there's podcasts, there's articles. It's customized to whatever it is that you need for the industry that you're serving.
I love that. And you can help them with components of that, correct?
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
That's awesome. I know you've gotten a lot of people on television, on the radio, article placements. You've just introductions.
Introduction.
Now,
The
introductions.
network.
Here's the thing. People don't see introductions as the powerful part of PR. So I'm just gonna love on you. Those introductions turn into money.
Yeah.
Right? It's either immediate and long-term. It's really, really a huge part of what you do, but it can't be qualified or quantified easily or on a website.
That's right.
It's like, we make the introductions that you've been
I
looking for.
I know 3,000 people.
Yeah. Which is hard, but it's such a big part of public relations.
Yes.
That's why you're hiring people.
Right.
You're hiring, they'd be hiring you for access.
That's right.
To the people that you've already created relationships with.
And I really love that, Peter, too, because I think there's different types of PR under the PR umbrella, right?
Sure.
So sometimes, for a majority of the time, those relationships are the key to getting that feature, to getting that story. And sometimes all you need is a strong storytelling campaign that's digital, right? And so, really accessing the type of PR need that you have and plugging in with the people in your network that can help that individual in that way, that's priceless. There's not a price tag you can put on that kind of value.
Yeah, I agree. And especially for businesses when they're not flourishing because the economy is a little tight, that can be the difference between staying in business or going out of business.
Absolutely.
So if you're listening, what you really want to do is you really want to reach out to Carrie. You want to look and see how she can help your business just move the dial forward. And she can do it very quickly for not a tremendous amount of money, but just enough for you to do something prolific with your business. Could change the destiny of you and your family and impact the community in a positive way. Everything you're doing, man, we're big fans. Thank you so much for taking the time
Thanks
today.
so much for bringing me here. It's really great to talk to you. I appreciate you.
If you had to give one piece of advice to the people who are transitioning from one spot to the other or looking to start a business, what's the one piece of advice you'd give them in just a really concise way?
Do it.
That's it. Just do it.
Just do it. Just do it. Whatever it takes. If that is in your heart and that's your goal and that's your vision and you believe that you can, do it.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's time to get started.
That's right.
If you've been dreaming about going into a business, if you're nervous about going into business, if you don't know what you're going to bring to business, just do it. You will figure it out as long as you're committed. This is Peter Anthony. This is the Utah Business Spotlight. We're here with Carrie Hill. She's crushing it. You can too. We'll see you next episode.